He was set up by his own blood. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the Mafia crime family and how one of their own was set up by his own blood. Let's get into it. The Bonanno crime family is one of the 5 major crime families that arose in the United States during the Prohibition era in the 1920s. With origins that can be traced back to the Sicilian Mafia, the Bonanno crime family has deep roots in organized crime. Philip Rusty Rustelli, a capo in the family, found himself caught in the crossfire. This victory solidified Rustelli's position within the Bonanno crime family, and he began working closely with Castellano, becoming his right-hand man. During this time, he played a significant role in managing the family's interests, including their lucrative drug operations. He had connections to both Castellano and Salerno, which put him in a precarious position. The charges stemmed from an undercover investigation that had been conducted by the Drug Enforcement Administration. Russell's arrests came as a shock to many in the criminal underworld, as he had managed to keep a low profile throughout his tenure as boss. The D had been able to gather enough evidence to indict him for conspiring to distribute large amounts of narcotics. The case against him was strong, and Russell knew he had little choice but to cooperate in order to secure a plea bargain. He published an autobiography titled I Turned on the Mob in 2004, providing further details about his involvement in organized crime and the reasons behind his decision to cooperate. Firstly, he realized that the game was up. The heat from law enforcement was intense. We will catch you guys later with another great video. Thank you for watching. And he understood that his continued involvement in mob activities would likely lead to his eventual downfall. By cooperating, he hoped to secure a more lenient sentence for himself, which he successfully did. Additionally, Russell had grown weary of the violence and bloodshed that characterized the mob lifestyle. He saw the consequences of the Mafia Commission war firsthand and desired a way out for himself and his family. Furthermore, Russell harbored resentment towards his underboss, Anthony Cutello, who had been involved in a hit-and-run accident that injured Russell's son. This personal animosity also influenced Russell's decision to turn on his former allies. Lastly, Russell's cooperation can be seen as a way to save face for himself and the Bonanno crime family. By providing information that led to the dismantling of rival drug labs, he demonstrated that, despite his involvement in organized crime, he was willing to assist authorities in eliminating threats to society. Overall, Russell's decision to turn on the mob was a calculated move to protect himself and his family while also offering a chance at redemption. He even made an appearance on the popular talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, where he discussed his experiences. After his public appearances, Rustelli withdrew from the public eye once again, this time for good. He enjoyed his remaining days playing golf and fishing, seemingly content with the life of a reformed mobster. Sadly, however, he passed away in 2020 at the age of 86. Rustelli and Castellano soon found themselves in the sights of the authorities. He turned over a wealth of information about his fellow mobsters, providing the authorities with insights into their operations and activities. These labs were responsible for producing large quantities of drugs that were distributed across the United States. By cooperating and providing intelligence on these labs, Russell played a crucial role in dismantling one of the family's main sources of income. His cooperation led to the arrests and convictions of several high-ranking members of the Bonanno crime family. Among those brought down by Russell's testimony was his underboss, Antonio Cutello. Cutello had been a close confidant of Russell's day and was instrumental in the day-to-day operations of the family. His arrest and subsequent conviction was a major blow to the Bonanno crime family, weakening its structure and leadership. This unexpected turn of events placed him at the helm of one of the most powerful crime families in the country. Despite the challenges associated with maintaining power in such a volatile environment, Russell proved to be a capable leader. Well, after providing his testimony and helping secure convictions against his former associates, Telly was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He served his time at the Federal Correctional Facility in Marion, Illinois, also known as the Alcatraz of the Prairie due to its strict security measures. Notably, Russell's sentence was for a lesser charge compared to those he had originally faced. This lighter sentence was likely a result of his extensive cooperation with authorities. Under his guidance, the Bonanno crime family continued to thrive. He successfully navigated the treacherous waters of organized crime, managing to stay one step ahead of law enforcement. His leadership skills and strategic thinking allowed the family to adapt to the changing times and survived the onslaught of law enforcement operations. Law enforcement agencies had been closing in on the Bonanno crime family, aiming to dismantle their criminal empire. It became clear that the heat was on, and Castellano decided it was time to go into hiding. On December 16, 1985, Castellano was shot and killed outside a Manhattan steakhouse. While the exact details surrounding his murder remain shrouded in mystery, it is believed that he was targeted by members of his own family, who were eager to take control of the crime organization. As the violence escalated, Rustelli realized he needed to make a decision. Ultimately, he decided to align himself with Castellano's faction, although he maintained cordial relations with his former allies in Salerno's camp. This decision proved to be a turning point in his criminal career. In the early 1960s, the family had an estimated 1,000 members, making them one of the largest crime families in the country. During this time, under the leadership of Joseph Bonanno, they became known for their successful labor, racketeering, gambling, loan sharking, and drug trafficking activities. However, there was a new generation coming into power at the time, with leaders like Paul Castellano, Thomas E. Duke, and Anthony "Fat Tony" Salerno. These men wanted more than just being known as a successful crime family. They had ambitions to take control of the lucrative drug market in the United States. But not everyone was on board with this plan. It's created a rift within the family, eventually leading to a violent conflict known as the Mafia Commission War. Joseph Bonanno, who emerged from the ranks of the Lucchese crime family, played a pivotal role in establishing the family's foundation. By 1931, he had earned the title of Mafia boss, marking the official birth of the Bonanno crime family. Their territory mainly consisted of Brooklyn, parts of Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, and also had a presence in Florida. As the years passed, the Bonanno crime family grew in power and influence. The war erupted due to the conflict between two factions within the Mafia Commission. One led by Paul Castellano and the other by Anthony Salerno, or Tony, Fat Tony Salerno. The opposing sides had different views on how the family should operate, particularly regarding their involvement in the drug trade. Castellano favored a more traditional approach, focusing primarily on established rackets like gambling and unions, while Salerno advocated for expanding into the burgeoning drug market. This ideological clash culminated in an all-out war between the factions, which lasted for several years and resulted in numerous deaths on both sides. During this turbulent time, the Bonanno crime family found themselves torn between the two warring factions. By the mid-1980s, Castellano's faction had gained the upper hand, asserting dominance over the narcotics trade in the northeastern United States. However, this newfound power and success did not come without its challenges. With Castellano's elimination, Philip "Rusty" Russell became the acting boss of the Bonanno crime family. However, his reign as boss was relatively short-lived. On May 27, 1994, after serving less than 9 years as boss, Philip "Rusty" Russell was arrested on drug charges. This decision to cooperate marked a significant shift in Russell's criminal career. In addition to his testimony against Cutello and others, Rusullo provided valuable information that helped shut down the Bonanno crime family's lucrative drug labs. Now, you might be wondering what happened to Philip "Rusty" Rustelli after he turned on his own family. Upon his release from prison in 2003, Rustelli chose to leave the life of crime behind. So why did he betray his own family? Philip Russell's decision to turn on his own family was driven by a combination of factors. That's all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new here.